You went to the NFL. What was that transition like? Because I mean, like you said, less than 1% get to that level. What is that like going from the college campuses now? This is a job. This is feeding your family. This is your goal, and you're here now. I mean, well, this is your mission, and you're here now. What is that like?
It's crazy, bro, because it's one of those things, man, where for us, we understand after practice, especially our freshman year, sophomore year, I know for us, we stayed at Wiley. And so, after practice, after training tables, after, class, we all met up in a dorm. And that was our, we played around there. We had fun running the halls. Hilltop was the next place, our second year. That's where we stayed, as far as our recruiting class, our freshman and sophomore class. And we were just always around each other. So just that team camaraderie, man, was that friendship going, I wasn't a bar dude. I didn't go to bars or whatever, but I know the guys went to bars or whatever. And so we just had fun because we were always around. I think, that transition to the National Football League, it was like, okay, once we go to OTAs, we go to training camp. We were in my first year, or my first, second, and third year in Kansas City, we were in River Falls, Wisconsin. So we were at a dorm. So it was like that same feel, kind of. But then I was shocked because when we left after a week, 2 weeks being in River Falls, Wisconsin, it was like everybody went to their house. And so after practice, it was no dorms. It was no apartments, duplexes. It was literally, he went home to his wife and kids. You had jokers. We had a dude that was like 46. Like, he was a long snapper. Joker looked old as all get out. And I'm looking like, how is he on the team? Who is this cat? Like, but it's just like you got dudes that's married, dudes that's engaged, dudes with kids. Like, I'm sitting there, just turned 21, and I'm looking like, dog, like, let's go do something. They looking like, man, you young. Like, sucker, we got a family. And I mean, a lot of them suckers didn't like their families anyways, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things, bro, where that's the transition where you just like, oh, snaps. Like, okay, now at turning 21, I got to go buy a house or get an apartment or buy a condo. I got to have a car. And, for me, I was just like, I was excited because I was like, I ain't got to worry about parking tickets, being outside somewhere on campus. And I'm like, man, like, I can park at the facility. I ain't got to worry about tickets or whatever, but just going home to, like, and of course my wife was, who was my, girlfriend, who we've been together since forever, but she was my girlfriend. She moved, she gave up her scholarship at Indiana State and moved to Kansas City. And it was just like coming back to her, but it was just still, it was weird. So that was the biggest transition. The playbook stuff, it's a bigger playbook, a little more complex, essentially kind of the same thing. It's not as jig-rigged as college is, but man, once you learn it, football is football. And we just go out there and play. But I do remember, a joker throwing a chicken wing at his wife, and he got arrested for it. And I'm just looking like, I was like, whoa, I come back in the locker room, and everybody killing this dude because he threw a chicken wing at his wife and went to jail. So we like, bro, like, everybody was like, people was asking, did you eat the chicken wing first and throw the bone at her? Or did you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like stuff like that, dog. Like, it's mad crazy because just, the publicity is just bigger. Yeah. And, you just, it's big in college, but it's broad at the professional level.
What advice would you, that's hilarious. That's funny, man. What advice would you give somebody that's making that transition? Somebody that is making that next step. Maybe they don't have a support system. Maybe they got really good in their sophomore, junior year of college, and they're making that transition in the NFL. They never expected this to happen. What advice would you give them coming into the National Football League?
Change the number. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, I've had to change my number a couple times, and it's that thing, as you understand, man, you see who's in your corner from yay high. You see who's in your corner. But I think, as you go to the National Football League or the professional level at any level, you find out, okay, you getting hit from everywhere. And it's just one of those things, man, where I remember being drafted, and the next day, bro, I mean, first and foremost, I was sued the next day And then after that, I got a voicemail talking about still to this day, don't know who it is, who it was. My mama need furniture for her living room and her bedroom. Like literally, it was just like, yo, hit me back. I was like, yo, who is this? And so, bro, like, it's just to the point where I would tell, I tell kids, change your number, because if they got access to you, you know, that's a killer. You don't need to have all these, it's cool to have a circle, you know what I'm saying? But that circle doesn't need to be huge. That circle could be 2 and 3 people, people who you trust, people who you love and who love you and trust you. And you know, that's the biggest thing, you know, and put your coins up, man. Put your coins up. Understand you don't need to keep up with the Joneses. You know, how rich people stay rich is they get things for free. Take advantage of that. Put your money up, let people do things for you. And don't take advantage of it, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like, people want to do things for you. People want to hook you up, and then you can bless other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, with what you have and the things that you're doing. And that's one thing that I learned coming into the National Football League, and it's been awesome, and it's worked thus far.